everyone, this is your unemployed chef. It has been a very long time. I believe it's been a month or a little over a month since my last video. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a lot going on in my personal life, but luckily I'm taking the time out today to make you guys another delicious video. I hope everybody's doing well. This is actually something that I've been waiting since the summertime to make. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And this will actually be a fresh strawberry jello pie. For this recipe, you're going to need 1 pound of fresh strawberries, about 1 cup of sugar. I usually use agave because it doesn't spike your blood sugar as bad, and it's not as bad as using white refined sugar, so I just use that. Then again, it's a dessert, so I mean, it's not going to be healthy. You're going to need 1 9-inch pie crust. You could use a ready-made pie crust or a graham cracker pie crust. I use the graham cracker pie crust because I like the texture and it's very easy to use. You're going to need 1 3-ounce package of Jello and 1 cup of water. So before we get started, make sure that preheating my oven now to 350 degrees, and this is so that I could bake my pie crust through a little bit, just to give it more I guess texture, a little bit more color. We don't want to fully cook it because it can get bitter, so just 5 minutes at the most. And your strawberries should have been washed and rinsed. And what we're going to do now is just cut off the tops of the strawberries like so. And that is my cue to put in my pie crust. And now it's time to put my crust into the oven. Here we go. Put my timer on for 5 minutes. Oh, what's that? Is this the ingredient that I forgot to show you guys at the beginning of the video? 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. So what I do, I just take the tops off, slice them in half, and again, and that's it. All we got to do is just worry about doing the other 0.98% of the pound. But that's okay, we got enough time. And this is another incredibly easy dessert recipe that anybody can make. If I can make it, you sure can make it. Just hold off on that for a minute. So I'm going to take my 1 cup of water and heat it on a medium-low heat, which would be about a 4 on my stove. And this is the area where we're going to make the jello mixture. Back to the strawberries. I'm going to use frozen strawberries because they just won't work as well. That's all I can say. But just know that freshest is the bestest. This is my pie crust that came out the oven. As you can see, it got a nice summer tan going on. Not Wesley Snipes summer tan, just summer tan. And I'm just going to let this cool. My water started to steam up, so that means that it has reached the temperature I wanted. And now I'm going to put in 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. So here's 1. Make sure that here's the 2nd tablespoon. 2. And here's 3. I'm going to grab my whisk so I can break up these clumps. So I'm getting the clumps out, but they're still there. So I'm just going to add just a little bit more water and it should fix. I was able to break up most of the clumps, so that's good. So now we're going to put in 3 ounces of Jello. Since this is a 6-ounce pack of Jello, I'm just going to pour out half of it. Don't you love it when math is easy? Remember, half of a package if you have the 6-ounce. Give that a good stir. And a little bit more. Stir really well. Look at that beautiful liquefied Jello. And I'm going to cook this until it thickens just a little bit more. Thanks to the cornstarch, it has already started to thicken up quite a bit. And I guess this is a good place to stop. If not, I'll leave this on for another 2 minutes at the most. But if your mixture starts to look like this, it separates and it comes back together nice and neat, then it's a pretty good thickness. Another good visual cue to look for is if you see like this bubbling in the mixture, that means that the cornstarch has expanded quite a bit. We're just below the 30-minute mark or 30-second mark. And I'm just going to take this off and let this cool. This is very, very important. Let this cool in your fridge for 15 minutes. If you don't have enough space in your fridge, I guess I would let this cool on the stove for about 15 minutes. Now get your strawberries. And just dump them in your pie shell or pie crust. Like so. Spread out evenly. If your pie shell cracks, that's okay. The Jello is going to reseal it. And trying to get everything into one even layer the best way I can so I can make sure the Jello spreads evenly. And that's it for the strawberries. So now we're waiting on Jello to cool off. Timer for the Jello has went off. Here we go. Yes, I had some strawberries. Anyway, now it's time to pour over the Jello mixture over the strawberries. Get as much Jello out as you can. Make sure to coat the strawberries evenly. Here's a pro tip. I usually use the sugar-free strawberry Jello, but due to some concerning ingredients, I decided against it to use it, so I just went ahead with the regular strawberry Jello. This strawberry Jello is very, very sweet, so I don't even think that it's necessary to put any sugar whatsoever. I think actually just using the natural taste of the strawberries and their tartness will actually help to balance out the sweetness, because this is really sweet. But if you want diabetes, go ahead. You can always get teeth implants or a new leg. So now I'm just spreading it out in an even layer the best way I can. And not everything is going to be super perfect, but as long as it gets an even coating, that's good. Okay. Just cleaning off some excess jello. I'm just covering this with some clear wrap for the fridge, and this will allow me to see the progress of my pie. Okay, we're gonna let this sit in the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours, and we'll be back. And voila, this is the pie after about 3 to 4 hours in the fridge. As you can see, the jello has set. What you could also do is, if you're feeling a little bit indulgent, you can get some whipped cream and spread it over the top of your pie. So this is some freshly whipping cream that I had with a tongue twister that I had laying around the house. If you don't, you could just get some regular Cool Whip. But fresh whipped cream is always best. Freshest is the bestest. And layer it onto your pie. You could do a very thick layer or a thin layer. I think I'm just going to go for maybe an average thickness. Let's dig in. And here's a newly detailed pie. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and complain if you loved this video. This is your unemployed chef, and always chase that yum.